This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Stuff went numb that shouldn't go numb, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
It was kind of an awkward thing. He's like, would you guys want to come along? Can you get away to come to the island? I'm like, yeah, we just got back from there.
It is the 11th of February 2024. My name's Corey Winfield.
And my name's Marney Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast, Super Bowl Sunday, but you can't say Super Bowl. But you can. Because, I mean, whatever. We're not making money off this podcast, and we're talking about real life things, Super Bowl.
Right, it's on TV. So
happening today, the Chiefs versus the 49ers. Mm-hmm. Who you got?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
It's just, I've always favored that team, except for when they're, playing Buffalo, because that's who I like, because that was my fantasy stack. Had Buffalo players.
Yeah, and you had some Chiefs players, too. You had Pachenko this year on your fantasy team.
I did. I've had Pachenko since he just started getting good.
Yeah. Which was this year, which is good.
Well, I had him last year.
Yeah, he didn't really do a whole lot last year until kind of the end. If I remember correctly, like in the Super Bowl, he did really good. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, now we see her. That's his coming out party. And then, because they had old Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When I say old, I mean like 25.
Right.
Yeah, but he's just kind of not the guy they thought he was, I think. And Pachenko is good. Mm-hmm. He runs hard. And I think the difference tonight, and everybody's like, San Francisco's got a defense that's pretty good. Yeah, you can pass on them. And what does Kansas City have? I don't know. The best quarterback in the league.
Right.
Now, who's going to catch the ball besides Travis Kelce? That's to be debated. Because they do have some wide receiver issues. But that Rice guy is pretty good. And they got Kelce, and Pachenko can catch the ball a little bit. So it'll be good. And I think Kansas City's defense is actually better than San Francisco's defense. And San Francisco has a couple guys that'll sack you and all that stuff, but other than that, I'm not sure. I mean, Detroit, look what they did to them.
Right.
Just Detroit forgot you had to finish the game.
Yeah.
And I use that in analogies when I talk to people now. Like, seriously, dude? Like you can put in all the hard work you want. And I notice it, and I get it. But if you look around, everybody's talking about the fumble you did. Like I was like comparing it to what's his name? Gibbs, the running back for Detroit. Like, he had a great year. He won them some games, just on being a badass. And then everybody talks about the fumble.
Yep.
And same thing with Reynolds, who dropped the ball. He could have had 18 catches in that game. Yeah. But you'd still be talking about the one that was on 4th and 2 and he dropped.
Yeah, he was doing some amazing stuff last couple games.
I don't know if that's just like the human nature of what, or if it's the pain of the drop hurts more than like catching 18 ball. Of course, he didn't catch 18 balls, but I'm just saying, like, is it the kick in the nuts that hurts more than the celebration of yay, you caught that, you did good?
I think it's easier for people to find things that can, where the outcome is due to placing blame, opposed to finding things that people did good to make a different outcome. Yeah. It's not collective when it's something like that. When it's a win, it's like, oh, everybody, they can say these people shined, but they don't win games for people. That people, like stuff like that, isolated events, they'll be like, that's what happened. That's why we lost, because he dropped that one ball.
Yeah, but they will, or he fumbled, and kickers get a bad rap too. And it's like, okay, kicks aren't guaranteed. I don't care if it's from 10 yards away, 18 yards away, something could happen. The snap, the whole, like, there's so many different things that could go wrong, but people just think it's a gimme. Oh, well, that's only a 20-yard field goal. He should hit that. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of factors in it. And then people want to like throw it out there like the person came in like super drunk or hungover, or he did something on purpose to miss that kick. Well, if he wouldn't have been out partying all night the night before, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Sometimes you just miss things. It's not like a guarantee. It's not like death. Like, hey, we're all going to die. That's guaranteed. It's not a guarantee. It's a sport. And yeah, you might have fumbled. Yeah, you might have dropped a 4th and 2 pass, but it is what it is. And from that, just like last year when the Lions didn't make the playoffs, they were close, and then they finished the year by beating Green Bay and eliminating them from the playoffs. And it was Aaron Rodgers' last game with the Packers. So that was kind of cool. But they built on that. And they kind of built on like, okay, we need to make the playoffs next year because this doesn't feel good. Like, yeah, it felt good to beat the Packers at the end, to take Aaron Rodgers out or whatever, but we want to be in the playoffs because we think we could have beat those teams. And so, like, when bad things happen to you, like homeboy dropping the ball, Gibbs fumbling, Lions losing, they should learn from that and never want to feel that pain again. So maybe next year, if they're up big at halftime, they can finish the job. Mm-hmm. And I bet you they will, because that, again, that's how we learn. Mm-hmm. So a lot of lion talk. Usually that doesn't happen. You talk about Super Bowls,
right?
That's funny. I was gonna hit a drop, but I figured I didn't even need one.
Right.
So yeah, I think the Chiefs are gonna win too, and I'm kind of torn because I'm a big Tom Brady fan, and I don't want Mahomes to have more Super Bowl rings than Tom Brady. So it's gonna like pump the brakes, man. I don't even think he's 30 yet. It's like, calm down, bro.
Wow.
Slow it down. But I'm not a big fan of San Francisco, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say you never have been.
Back when I had Joe Montana. That's not his real name. Joe Montana. Like, I used to like Joe Montana, but then they kind of did him dirty and had Steve Young take over. But they won a Super Bowl. That was their last one, which was a long ass time ago. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight, though. I know I used to partake in a lot of alcohol on Super Bowl Sunday back in my day, and I'm thankful I don't have to do that today. Mm-hmm. I can actually try to enjoy the game or enjoy watching you sleep during the game.
Right.
That's the best part of it. And I think a couple years ago we had a friend over, I guess you could say, and you like did up the whole spread. I think that was when the Chiefs played Tampa and Tom Brady beat them.
That was like 2020?
Might have been. 2021 maybe?
21, yeah.
Yeah. And that was fun. And it's cool to have a lot of food. We have more food than we probably needed, but it was kind of cool, and you were like a rock star with that. But this year it's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. I'm going to a place called Redford, Michigan.
You kept wanting to call it all kinds of different names other than what it was called.
What?
You're like Red
about?
Rock.
What?
Rock, Lance, and yeah, you were calling it all kinds of different names.
Whatever. It was always called Redford.
No, you were saying Red Rock, and you were saying Rockford, I think, at one time.
Yeah, Illinois. That's where I was going to go.
It was like, what? No. Why do you have such a difficult time remembering where this training's at?
I almost just said Red Rock right then.
I know.
Yeah, we're staying in Livonia. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. So we're by the Detroit area.
Yeah.
And hopefully I go to that pancake house. That original pancake house is what it's called,
I'm jealous of that, yeah.
Man, they had this. It was good, first of all. We went there with your mom once, too.
We did.
And we went there with the crew. We went to that Lions game. Bringing back the Lions. Come on. Mm-hmm. And they had, first of all, the waitstaff was great, and the food was pretty good. I don't recommend the big elephant ear pancake thing they had. That really wasn't.
No.
I wasn't so hip on that, but their pancakes are delicious, and they have this like bacon thing. It comes with like, you get hash browns, I think, scrambled eggs, pancakes, like 8 pieces of bacon.
Yeah, we talked about it before. We talked about it.
Yeah, it was amazing, and it was thick cut bacon. It was so good.
Yeah,
I love that place. So hopefully, I think we're close enough where I can pop in there, and Adam's going with us because we're doing recovery coach training. Which you're like, Corey, haven't you taken this? Mm-hmm. Yep, a couple times, but the difference here is this is the state's training.
Yeah.
You're like, well, isn't that the same training? Yes, I've heard it is pretty much exactly the same, but I have not taken it. But we're a nonprofit organization, and we work off of grants. And in order to use these grants, you have to have people like Adam. Like Justin's already certified with the state.
Right.
Adam is not. So Adam's going with this training as well. Mitch is going, I think, next month. And once you get certified, then you can be trained from the state, and then you can use state money to pay for you can use grant money to pay these people's salaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going because there was some kind of certification, super duper something. I figured I want to give me some of that. I don't even know what I just said, and it's fake anyway.
it was a whole lot of words with no real like definition of what it was you were going for.
Yeah, so
you get what I'm saying?
No, nobody
not
gets
at all.
what I'm saying.
Not with you.
But I have to do that, and somehow. Okay, so if I hire somebody or we hire somebody, and they come along, we have to have someone who is state certified in order to like certify that person. Not certify
it's like a mentor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're under me. Like, let me see your reports.
It's like being supervised.
Yeah.
So having supervision.
So that's kind of why I'm doing it. Plus, I have a few things I would like to get off my chest when I get there.
Uh-oh, look out.
That's the thing about being unforgettable. It's not always a good thing.
Oh, it's not.
Sometimes it's bad. We went to Verizon the other day. I walk in and I was like, yeah, da, da. She's like, oh, yeah, I remember you.
I don't know if it was that apparent, and you said, is that a bad thing? And she's like, no, neither here nor there. Not really.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing.
It was, yeah. Well, I'm sure that a place like that has a lot of disgruntled people that come in. So,
well, they made us wait for a half hour. Then they told us that they couldn't help us. Actually, I think it was like 45 minutes. I was like, what? So we would drive back to work, and then the Robin guy who I had spoken to calls me on the phone. Was like, hey, man, we can't help you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was just there, and they told me you couldn't. Oh, no. They didn't understand, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So we got taken care of. But being unforgettable. That's what I'm not setting out to do that at this training, but there's just a lot of things that I have questions about. And I want to bring it to light in front of everybody because I hear a lot of things okay, here it is. I'll break it down for you real simple. Not everybody needs to be in recovery.
Right.
There you go. Done. Drop. Mic. Done. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying everybody can't be in recovery, but it seems like everybody wants to be in recovery. Everybody wants to say they're in recovery. Everybody wants to go drink on the weekend, smoke pot all the time, and say they're in recovery. Well, because it's not my drug of choice. Okay, let me break it down for you real quick. So I've tried meth. I've tried heroin. That's not my drug of choice. Alcohol was. So I'm not drinking alcohol, but if I want to do some meth on the weekend, that should be fine, right? Because it's not my drug of choice. I'm in recovery when I say I am. Like, to me, that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. And again, if somebody wants to smoke meth on the weekend, go do it, but I'm telling you, it's a bad choice. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to say you're in recovery.
Right.
You can just say, hey, I don't drink anymore.
Right.
But if they want to include everybody, I don't know if it's a money thing. Like, if everybody that was just, hey, completely off every single thing, they're like, oh, we only have 8 people in the whole America that does that. Because you want to break it down to every little thing, sugar, everything. Mm-hmm. It would probably be 8 people in the whole nation. But to include everybody, if you do that or you do, whatever, it's harm reduction, I'm using air quotes, then that's fine. That's cool. And that's better. It's better to do this and this. And that's the thing too, is harm reduction is such a wide thing. Like when I say harm reduction, people might be like, oh, Corey, you're passing out needles. And other people are like, oh, wait, hold on. That's medicated. That's assisted treatment, medicated assisted treatment. That's kind of harm reduction too. But there's so different spectrums of the passing out needles to taking Suboxone to taking Vivitrol. Mm-hmm. But it's lumped into harm reduction. So when you say it, what does it even mean? Those are the things that I would really love to get down to a science to just what does it mean? And again, not everybody needs to be in recovery.
Right.
If you're smoking weed on the weekend or doing whatever, if you're doing a mind altering substance, but I do it for my back. I don't care. It doesn't matter what you're doing it for. That's not the point of it. Mm-hmm. To confuse somebody who's early in recovery, say for instance, somebody comes to our 217 recovery center and they want to hit a meeting on the weekend. They come in and say, we got somebody that's leading a group that, they drink. Because their problem was, I don't know, just to say pills or something,
Sure.
And so they're like, oh no, my thing was pills. And say the person that's coming there was like, oh, well, my thing was heroin. Oh yeah, well I drink is what they're teaching people at these meetings. Oh, I get drunk all the time, and that's fine. That's not my thing. That wasn't my problem. Mm-hmm. So then the person comes in early in recovery and is like, well, if they're leading a group here at this awesome 217 recovery center and they're saying they drink, well, shit, my thing was hair, so I can drink then. And again, they can do whatever the F they want to. I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. A buddy of mine right now is in treatment because he thought, well, hey, heroin's my thing, so I can drink. No, he found out he could not.
Right.
And he went so hardcore with that. And I'm so proud of him for catching himself because I kind of knew what was going on, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I don't hate him for it. I'm not going to never talk to him again. But I'm glad he's at where he's at. And I'm glad he caught himself and realized, whoa, this is getting out of control. I cannot stop. I need help. And I'm proud of him for that. But a lot of people, I've known several, and I don't want to start calling out names, but there were some people that were really close to me that did, the same thing. And one of them said, Corey, I don't know how you alcoholics do it. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, this withdrawal, he's like, it's 10 times worse than anything I ever dealt with heroin. I was like, yeah. And then you guys, I would give them shit because at treatment centers, people are like, man, I'm dope sick, man. I'm dope sick. And I'm like, yeah, well, I was just sick as an MFer and volume. Nothing they gave me did anything. Of course, maybe probably because the liver failure thing, but like it was horrible. So people are like, here, take this Antabuse. You're going to get real sick if you drink. I'm like, shit, I'm going to get real sick if I drink anyway. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not drinking. Like, sick doesn't scare me.
Right.
Death doesn't scare me. At one point, I was welcoming it. Come on. I can't do any of this. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It's the easy way out. That wasn't even the easy way out.
Well, I think there's the one piece that I can see why people want so badly to be able to relate where they're at with the word recovery is because recovery has a positive connotation to it. It is a very strength-based word and very productive word. And for somebody who struggled with something, and everybody's got a different story, but like you said, let's say it's heroin, let's say it's meth, and like they were on the down and outs, like they were literally like buying, drugs every cent out of their pocket, homeless, sick, partaking in illegal activities to be able to feed their drug habit, whatever. And they actually managed to kick that, right? They actually managed to get that piece eliminate that out of their life is the use of heroin or meth or whatever it is they're talking about. And so, they know that that's their downfall. They know that's their DOC and that's what gets them. And they don't ever want to get back to that pit. And you're right. Like switching to alcohol, people think, oh, well, alcohol is my problem. So, I mean, I can get drunk every once in a while, or I can have some cocktails or whatever. Obviously, for me, and, same messaging as you, is I wouldn't recommend it because we know people who have tried to use that switcheroo and it never works out well. And so knowing that, but they still want to hang on to that piece of, but what was killing me and when my life was so bad, I've eliminated that part. Like I don't do that anymore. So it's hard, I think, for them to not want to still say I'm in recovery because as much as they want that heroin or as much as they want that meth, they're not doing it. So to them, they feel like that translates to being in recovery. Might not down the road.
Right, so I can go do heroin and meth on the weekend is what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying.
That wasn't my thing.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I feel like...
Oh, because it's illegal.
No, but I feel like that's why they feel like, didn't they earn that word to be able to use that word since they were shooting up with, needles, cooking up heroin and, shooting it into their veins and now they're not. Like, don't they deserve to be able to use that word? I think is where
and if they want to, that's fine. But like, I don't think that you should be able to like start doing other drugs as a replacement for that drug that you used, and then still say like, "Well, I'm in recovery." I
completely. I'm on the same.
I'm saying like everybody. I mean, that's great if they want to do that. Like, and people can do whatever they want. That's the beauty of life. You get that choice. But I'm just saying, not everybody has to say they're in recovery. They can say they don't use heroin anymore. Heroin. Yeah, like, well, don't use the word clean, they'll tell you too, because that's a negative thing. Whatever you want to use it. If you want to be a giraffe, say you're a giraffe. If you want to, well, I wouldn't say have sex with animals because that's illegal. But I don't care what other people do is my point. But at the same time, I care enough to think like, okay, if that whole setting I put it in, if somebody comes into the meeting and they might have had the same drug of choice, it would say it was pills, like I said earlier, and they hear the person that's running the meeting or someone at the meeting talking about, oh, no, I just don't use pills anymore, but I smoke weed, I drink till I'm drunk every weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
I do hear that.
But then that newcomer comes in and goes, oh, well, shit, I can do this.
Right.
Because I was one of those people thinking, oh, I'll just smoke weed.
Right. And herein lies the problem. I'm thinking this is where you're going with this. Here's you headed off to this training about being a recovery coach. Now, what is a recovery coach? There's different definitions of what people think that role serves. But in essence, you are kind of walking with someone through their journey of recovery. And so when you're stuck in this thing of what is the definition of recovery, when that part is muddled, then that gets very dangerous. Because here you are trying to mentor somebody saying, this is how it is that you can get your life back together. These are the steps that you can take to, or the things you should do or shouldn't do. Not so much as like rules, but like these are the ways where you'll find yourself to a better life. Those answers to that, for me as a recovery coach, I am a certified recovery coach amongst other certifications, but that's irrelevant, is I don't want my messaging to be to somebody who's trying to get clean to say, but hey, go ahead and you can get drunk and high on the weekends as long as you're not doing the heroin, your DOC or whatever, or slip swap. You can smoke some meth when you go to parties, but as long as you're not drinking, because we know alcohol is your vice. I can't, in my heart of hearts, be a coach guiding somebody and have that be my messaging.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And that's why, and I hear it so many times from all over the place, coming sideways, coming from behind, like just everywhere. And I think people are just making another thing. That's why I'm very interested to learn of what's being taught at the state training. And if that's the whole messaging thing, I have some questions. I'm really, really having questions. And I'm trying to think about how to say it. I think you said it best with the whole, I don't want that to be my messaging. Mm-hmm. And technically they can't say anything about that because everybody's in recovery when you say you're in recovery, you blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But you have all these things. And then, just defining, and I doubt we're going to define harm reduction this weekend, but the classifications of it, are so broad, and recovery is so broad. And I think they do that to just include more people so they can say, well, there's 48 million people in recovery, because it looks better when they're trying to get bills passed or they're trying to get money from places. And they're just like, there's 8 people in America that need your help. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the funny thing too, is the government does not care about us. They don't care about our health. They care about our money. That's all they care about. Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Okay. Yeah. Just keep me posted.
No, that's facts. That's what it is. And to think that the government's going to get you out of it or help you out or because they care, they don't. They want the money, man. And they want to not spend money on you. And people think, oh, they pass out clean needles so that people don't get sick. No. They pass out clean needles so they don't have to pay to fix people who have Hep C. People who have HIV. They don't want to fix that. It's expensive. They don't care about people living. They care about not fixing people, not having to pay to fix people. That's it. If they really cared, they would have passed out needles a long ass time ago. And some people say they shouldn't pass out needles at all. And I'm not even getting on that conversation right now.
Oh man, that could roll into all.
Yeah, but
because if you provide it, makes it easier to do, or it's like you're encouraging the behavior, blah blah. Just like handing out condoms, like go have sex, people. No, that's not what they're saying, but so yeah, those are the things that come along with that whole debate.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you going to this training. I think it's going to be, I think you're going to learn, I think you're going to learn things in a different light, I hope, because it's going to be different people. Because a lot of the trainings we go to kind of seem to be the same people. So maybe this is going to be a different crew, and it's going to be different people that are going to be at different levels of professionalism, I think, probably. Because they're all going for jobs, is my guess, right? to be able to work as have this be their profession.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, you have to fill me in and let me know.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was the wrong drop.
I love social media.
That was the wrong one too.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
That's the one I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, sport. Yeah, I will. But I just hope that it's good. And I think it will be for the most part. And again, these are people that are trying to help other people. And that's what I'm a huge fan of. And people helped me along the way, even though sometimes I didn't want it. And even early on when I was pushing people away, I was hearing what they were saying. Mm-hmm. I just didn't want to change my life. I thought I had it all figured out and I could still do what I wanted to do. And then, like I said, like trying to substitute other drugs for it. Oh, well, I just won't drink. I'll just smoke pot. Or, oh, it's meth. Well, it's not alcohol.
Yeah.
Which actually I was drunk when I just did every other drug ever.
Right.
So, but alcohol is a very dangerous drug. And you see commercial, and to me, in my opinion, it's the most dangerous. And now that marijuana in Michigan is legal, that's kind of a scary thing too, because people think that's, it's just weed, it's just alcohol. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't. Maybe they do know, but they just aren't telling you like the long-term effects of smoking weed. I'm sure it's not good.
Right.
It's just like eating too much ice cream. It's not good for you. Mm-hmm. There's so many different vices, but why are you using it? And what are you trying to do? Oh, I just like to get home and after work and unwind. I'll just smoke a bowl and get high. And okay.
Which when are they gonna make any connection to like the smoking piece of like inhaling? I mean, it's not tobacco, but are they ever gonna make that connection? Like it's not good for your lungs.
Well, see, that's the thing. They have a lot of the money to not have those reports published because it's tobacco company that's behind all these marijuana places that are opening, and some people don't even realize that. So they're on board.
You get tax breaks for being a dispensary.
Yeah, you do. I was doing taxes yesterday, and it's like, wait, what? Like, damn. Like buying a house, being awesome. Nope.
No.
I was looking for that awesome. Are you awesome? Here's a tax break for you. Nope. There's none of that. But if you open a dispensary, then yeah, we can get it from the state. I was like, wait, what? That's some bullshit. How about we run a recovery place? But never mind. Who cares? Who cares about that? We got the weed people coming in. But no, it is about being backed by tobacco.
Huh.
And they're all about that. And they're going right neck and neck. See, I was smoking weed this morning. See what happens, kids? Just kidding. I was not smoking weed this morning. I was going to make a really, really bad joke about what I could have been doing with my throat being that way. I'm not going to.
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Know what you're saying. But anyway, the temptations for everything are out there, and for people just to normalize it is when it gets bad.
Yeah.
When you normalize weed, when you normalize alcohol, and we'll see what happens. I was reading some stuff about why people go to the emergency room. What drug sends people to the emergency room the most? Did you hear that podcast? I didn't think so. What drug do you think is number one?
Alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah.
40. Damn it. You might have to go back and listen to the podcast I did with Justin.
What do you know when it was from? Like this last week?
2 ago?
2 weeks, two podcasts ago?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't think it wasn't one we just did on Friday. It wasn't that one. But no, it was like 44, 46, 48%.
Yeah.
Was alcohol.
Yeah.
And the next one?
Heroin.
It might have been at like 12%.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I think, was marijuana.
Marijuana?
Yeah.
Really?
Getting out of town. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
You mean
from the earth,
from the
man.
earth, like
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's good for you.
Yeah. Go smoke that stuff that just grows from the earth. It's going to be different. Jeez, oh, Pete.
You were sneezing this morning.
Now I got like a hot throat.
Huh.
So yeah, but the stuff now though, they do a lot of stuff to it. So
Sure.
if you're thinking, oh man, it's natural. Like you should have stopped saying that like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
For real. But anyway, you can do whatever you want in your life. But for me, my life is so much better. Not smoking weed, not trying to do meth on the weekend, heroin on the week, not drinking. You know, I took opiates for when I had stomach pain. That almost got out of control, but I realized it and I checked myself and I started writing it down. But I took precautions. I worked with my doctor. She would only give me a week script at a time. And I mean, I still had some stomach pain not too long ago, I remember. But, you know, it's about working with the people and talking and communicating, you know, with your doctors about it. And then I wasn't running around trying to buy stuff on the streets or anything like that. But some people would say, oh, Corey, look at you. You're just talking about being in recovery, but then using the stuff and and you just said, I smoke weed for my I know. I talk in circles. But I actually had something removed from my body. So,
yeah.
Like, I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of pain. Well, that's what I said about my back and my marijuana. Yeah, I know. But again, I said people can do whatever they want. So
right.
But for me, it worked out better, though, to just not do stuff. Yep. And to just be present in life. And I maybe it's because I had been gone for so long. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a song by Ben Howard. Keep Your Head Up, I believe, where he's talking about seeing his friend and his friend was looking in his eyes and he had told his friend he had been gone a while and he's like, yeah, I know, you know, and but that's what I kind of feel like. I had been gone for so long. I wasn't present. Right. And now to be present, to, you know, to have you, you know, a beautiful wife in my life and a baby on the way, you know, like I'm going to be present for all that. That is cool as shit. Mm-hmm. And did we have to go through hell? Yep, we did. Mm-hmm. And our stories are similar but very different. Mm-hmm. But to be where we're at now and to appreciate a morning where you wake up, you know, it's amazing, and actually have plans for the future. Yeah. You know, it's an amazing thing and something I never had. You know, in the past 5 years, it's been work. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people don't like the word work. I usually don't. but it's fun work. It's good work. You're working on yourself. It's the best kind of work that you can do. Yeah. So just do that, and you know, try to leave it up to me to get into the arguments with other people about recovery, not recovery, and blah blah blah. It's not really even an argument. It's more of like, I want clear direction. Yeah. You know, and like I said earlier, there's so many people throwing out different things. Like, well, they said this, and this is what they say, and it'll be good to hear it from people who are at the state level, you know, teaching this training. Yeah. And if they have, this is why we do this, then I will raise my hand and say why. Mm-hmm. And if there's no explanation, I will take a note. And then when I go by to talk to Gretch, that's what I call her. Oh, Gretch. I mean, Gretch go way back. I'll say, hey, Gretch, this is what I got. This is what we need to change. And then let's talk about gambling. Oh, we don't even have enough time to talk about that right now. No, we don't. And addiction. So yeah, don't bet on the Super Bowl. See how pissed off the state gets. If you really want to piss people off, you know, I say don't do crimes. Especially people like, I don't like the cops. Well, don't commit any crimes. And yeah, we'll do away with them. And then don't gamble. Don't bet on tonight's game. Mm-hmm. State gets so much money on that, and all these other places, you know, billions. I can't remember the number I heard the other day. It was over $100 billion. It's gonna be bet on this. Ridiculous. And we tell people they can't go to sober living, which is like $600 a month because we don't have enough money. Yeah, I know. Shut the F up. We got homeless people living in the woods. Yeah. We don't have enough money. I know. Uh-huh. Again, back to my circle around, the government doesn't care about you. So vote Winfield, governor. I'm telling you. Sarah Bush told me, she's like, I'd vote for you for governor. Wow. I know. She's like, you get stuff done. I'm like, yes, I would. Yep. It's coming soon. I just need 60,000 signatures. So my mom, Marney, I wonder how old they have to be. We'll get baby Parker to sign it. Tyrone's on board. I know that. So, you know, I make Justin, Midge. We get about 10 people. That's a good start. Your mom, she don't know if she would do it. Well, I'm going to get to that later. Just email it to me. Like 3 weeks later, I'm like, Emmy, are you going to sign that? Well, you know, I was thinking, Oh, man. I love my mother-in-law, though. I do. I don't think she likes me, but that's fine.
She
She
adores you. She loves you.
Anyway, I have to go get on the road, but enjoy the game. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Some of the stuff I say is absolutely serious. Some of it is absolutely not. You got to decipher through the rest. But appreciate you listening. Share it with your friends. 217recovery.com. If you need more info, if you need help, you need a recovery coach, hit us up. Watch the videos. Justin has a new cologne commercial out called Fabulous. And if you haven't seen Mitch's Bear commercial, that one is a take on Blue by Deschanel, which they spell blue, BLEU, which is the play on bear. So all those videos, everything online, they're on the app as well. So enjoy that and have a good laugh, and they're not very long. So talk to you maybe from the road.
Yeah, have a wonderful Sunday, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.